Greetings carnivores and welcome back to Carnivore Confidential. I'm Dougie the Butcher. Tonight on the menu is a filet mignon, beef tenderloin to the layman. But I'm going to show you the easiest and best way to cook this. It's one of my favorites. It is a reverse sear, where you cook the steak itself to an internal temperature close to what you want, and then you bring it out and put it on a screaming hot pan and sear it off with a butter baste. And that's what we're doing tonight. And all we're going to season it with is salt. So forget the black pepper and the garlic for now. But all we're going to season it with is sea salt. Fresh Malden sea salt, which is like a really flaky sea salt. Hello, baby. Hello. My pooch just came to say hi to me. Anyway, come on upstairs. Let's get started and stay hungry, folks. All right, welcome back, folks. Like I said downstairs, the secret to the perfect steak is salt. And not salt and pepper, not salt, pepper, and garlic, although those do help enhance the flavor. I'm talking about just salt. So one of the very first things you want to do when you first bring your steak home from the butcher shop or the grocery store, or take it out of the freezer and thaw it like I have, is you want to open it up and you want to dry it off. And as usual, I got a couple of noses here that are very interested in what I'm doing. I've got two beautiful pieces of tenderloin here. Filet mignon. And I'm just going to dry them off. On my paper towel. Because ideally what you want to do is you want to get the salt on them and then get them back in the fridge. And that's what we're going to do. What you want to do is get yourself some really good salt. I have Malden sea salt flakes. It's kind of expensive, so you want to use it sparingly. But when I say sparingly, I mean don't use it for everyday purposes. Use it for something like this. And we're just going to liberally salt our steaks with this flaked sea salt, Malden sea salt. And we're going to get the sides as well. And we're going to get them back in the fridge. So come on back for the sear. All right, so out from the fridge for an hour. They've been in the fridge for an hour. And we're going to salt them again. Not so much as the first time, but still going to salt them. And we'll turn them over. These are big steaks. All right, flaky sea salt. For the rest of my meal, I've got some mushrooms that I've already sliced. I've got them in the frying pan ready to go. I've got some asparagus in a steamer that's ready to go as well. And we're going to do a reverse sear on these things. So we're going to stick them in the oven first, bring them up to about 100-ish, 95-ish degrees. And then we're going to put them in a screaming hot cast iron pan and sear them to an internal temperature of hopefully 130 is what I'm shooting for. But it happens really fast, so wish me luck. Okay, welcome back. I've got my steaks ready to go in the oven. I'm going to do a reverse sear. I'm going to, remember I said before, just salt, no pepper, no garlic. I'm going to pepper now. And I'm also got some, my wife ran out to the garden for me and grabbed me some fresh rosemary and some fresh thyme that I'm going to strip to use when we're searing these bad boys off after they come out of the oven on the reverse sear. I think I need some more pepper. Okay, so the pan that I'm going to use for the oven is here. These guys are going into the oven. It's I've got it set for 200 degrees, but I need to be careful and watch it very, very closely because this happens fast. It's a reverse sear. The internal temperature comes up and I don't want it any more than about 95 degrees. Then I'm going to take it and put it in a screaming hot cast iron pan with some butter, unsalted butter, some fresh rosemary leaves, and some fresh thyme leaves. I'm not going to leave the sprigs. I'm going to take the leaves off the stems. So come on back for that, all right? All right, so like I said, things are happening fast. I've got my oven at 200 degrees, and I've got my steaks in there, bringing them slowly up to temperature because this is, as I said, a reverse sear. Excuse my back, please. I'm going to take a quick temperature reading on the inside, and I've got 90.3 degrees on that one, and I've got 101 degrees on this one. So we are in the zone for the reverse sear. And what I'm going to get going on now is, please excuse my back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change the camera angle. All right, after changing the camera angle for you, I got my screaming hot pan, which was screaming hot. I'm going to put it back on here to get it screaming hot again. Now I've got my mushrooms for my side dish. Got my asparagus ready to go in a pan of hot water. Not hot water, I'm going to steam them. I've got my screaming hot pan, and I've got two steaks that are ready to go in here, like so, and get a reverse sear on them. Unsalted butter. And I've got some thyme and fresh rosemary. And turn on my fan. Excuse the noise, but it's necessary, otherwise my smoke detector is going to go off. Now I know all the chefs out there will probably laugh at me for my butter basting techniques, but I assure you it's going to taste good. Get an amazing crust going on these guys. And I want to get a temperature reading. And this whole issue is going back in the oven because those steaks are really thick and I'm not where I needed to be as far as the temperature, internal temperature was concerned. So we're going back in the oven. Come on back. I'm going to show you the finished product. All right. I'm happy to share my successes and my failures with you. This isn't necessarily a failure yet, but I was hoping to have an internal temperature of about 100 or 95-ish degrees before I put them in the screaming hot cast iron pan for a reverse sear, and then bring them up to about $1.30 with the sear. As it turns out, they're a whole lot thicker than I thought they were. And after I seared them, they're still only about 90 degrees internal. So I put them back in the oven, and we're going to finish them off in the oven. No harm, no foul. All right, let's give these guys a check. again. All right, according to my thermometer, we are totally there. I'm going to take these guys off and rest them. Look at that beautiful sear. So they're going to rest for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to slice them open and see what we've got. Stick with us. Stick around and stay hungry. All right, these guys have been resting for a good 5 minutes. They could probably rest longer, but I want to open them up and show you what I'm dealing with. And also, I'm hungry and I want to get after my dinner, so let's give this a go, shall we? Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. Perfect reverse sear with a beautiful pink center. Nicely, nicely done, if I do say so myself. Anyway, all right. I think that was a success, even though it was a bit of a failure on my reverse sear. I had to finish it off in the oven. But the point I was trying to make earlier this afternoon was all you really need to do is salt your steak. Salt it as soon as you bring it home from the butcher shop, or as soon as it comes out of the, well, I thawed it, and as soon as it comes out of the refrigerator after it's been thawed from the freezer, salt it. Put it back in the fridge and let it sit there. The salt will absorb, the salt will draw moisture out of the meat, and in turn, the salt will be drawn into the meat. And then when you bring it out of the fridge, resalt it again. Stick it in the oven for a reverse sear, right? Or on the barbecue. The reason I'm not barbecuing tonight is because it's raining like hell. It's the middle of October here in southern Ontario, and it's raining like hell. So oven it is. Anyway, reverse sear in the oven. Bring it out when it's about 95-ish degrees into a screaming hot cast iron pan. Butter baste it with fresh herbs. And in my case, it still wasn't quite done, so I put it back in the oven to this perfect medium rare consistency. Anyway, that's all for today. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your support. By hitting the little bell notification, it tells Google, and hitting the like button, it tells Google that, or Google Analytics, that I'm actually putting out content that people want to watch. So until next Thursday at 6 o'clock, I'll see you guys next week, and stay hungry. Carnivore Confidential, out.